she comes in our room now. She didn't to begin with, that's a whole different story, but now we found that it suits us all for her to have her den in our bedroom. And we've also discovered that, like us, she is not a morning person. So she'll quite happily sleep on our bed. When we let her out in the morning, she'll then hop up on the bed till 9-10 o'clock in the morning. She's a lazy thing.
Oh, what a lovely life she has. And her food. So she started with what she was
Well, when we got her, she was recovering from, I'm pretty certain it was Campylobacter that she had, but she'd had a tummy bug. Right. And we decided, we talked to the vet. She got she had the puppy checked over by the vet. Everybody got the all clear. She was registered with the Kennel Club. So, we felt very confident in taking her. It was impossible not to anyway. Do you know what I mean? In all honesty, you've thought, we're going to have her, whatever.
Yeah.
So she just finished treatment for that. All was good, clear bill of health. And then she just had diarrhea. And we were new to this. And everyone kept saying, oh, it's puppy diarrhea. And we tried her on everything. And in the end, we went back to the vet and the vet said, put her on rice and vegetables. And it was like a small miracle.
Oh.
So she went on to rice and vegetables. And every time we tried to take her off rice and vegetables, the diarrhea came back. And fish upset her. Fish upset her. So it was just rice and vegetables. Fish upset her. We tried every sort of kibble, chicken, duck, beef, you name it. We had everything. Went back to the vet, said, you better check, again. She came up with a completely clean bill of health, no bacteria infection, no Campylobacter, a completely clean bill of health. So then we were left with, she's just sensitive. And we know that Vizslas and wire hairs can be sensitive. But we knew now that she was all right with rice and vegetables. But we were kept trying to introduce kibble because she couldn't live on rice and vegetables. And then a very, very good friend of ours, we were actually away on holiday, and this was only back about 2 months ago. This is new for us. 2 months ago, and she gave us an article. We were on holiday with them. She pulled out an article, and the first article was why a vegan dog can be as fit as a butcher's dog or something.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, and I showed this to my husband, and his little eyes lit up. And then there was a link in that one, I think it was through The Guardian, to the article that you did, or at least the article that you submitted for. Again, in The Guardian, all about veganism in dogs. It was an open door for us because we live, we've been strict vegetarian for 30 years. And then I do eat some cheese, but apart from that, I've been egg anaphylactic, and I neither of us eat dairy other than cheese. So we have soya milk and everything. And our sons, we've got 4 sons, and they're all either vegetarian or vegan. So for us, it felt much more authentic for us. We were very, very uncomfortable anyway with being vegetarians and buying all this meat in.
Yes, and duck.
I know we have pet ducks as well, Ariel. So
oh my goodness,
we did not want to give this dog
a taste. Absolutely not. It's even more.
So we felt we were very motivated and very anxious. But I am quite geeky, and so I studied in the space of a week.
Well done.
Information. Found your website as well. And quite quickly sent off, having done lots of research, then quite quickly sent off to you with a little email. And we had the little sample pack. And by this time I'd also really, really looked into how I could cook food. And again, having been a mum of 4 boys and working as a parenting consultant and a lot around nutrition in little people, I not only was I feeling very happy to cook, but it's lovely.
It is.
My husband, I mean, if I went and dragged him in here, he would be just, beaming from IT. He said to me this morning, he said, I cannot believe how well this puppy is.
Oh.
Now, I think it may be a bit of confirmation bias, but he thinks that her coat is better.
Yes.
He thinks that she is more settled, more energetic. He thinks she is a happier pup. I think that not being anxious about putting food down and her getting diarrhea helps. So I'm sure there is an element of that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But she must be feeling better because she no longer has diarrhea.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the most common things that dogs have an intolerance to, if a dog has an intolerance, are all the animal proteins. So the very first one is beef, then it's chicken, then it's dairy, then it's wheat, then we have soya, we have fish, we have rabbit, pork, and they all fall within, those are the top allergens that top intolerances. Because dogs, at the end of the day, they're opportunist feeders. So they've lived alongside man for, I mean, we're looking over 25,000 years. And so they've always had the scraps, they've always had whatever man has been eating. And men have not been huge meat eaters. I mean, think of the Phoenician times. This is only 2,000 years ago. The ancient Phoenicians who would fight, they were actually all vegetarian. So dogs have actually developed the genes. They've developed the digestive enzymes. Their genomes have actually changed compared to wolves completely, to actually be able to digest starches and to digest plant proteins. And so,
and of course, humans don't eat milk traditionally. Milk is
absolutely
incredibly modern into our diet and only into the Western diet. So dogs would never have been given.
No, and most dogs are lactose intolerant, like the majority of people. I mean, most Eastern people are lactose intolerant.
Yes, they are.
But dogs definitely are lactose intolerant, and it causes so many issues with itchy ears, etc. So what you've done is you've just removed the top allergens from her diet. Well done. And absolutely you'll end up with a much softer coat. Oh my goodness, just there's the proper health from plants, especially your home cooking, which is just,
well, and it's easy for us. I mean, the other night, you see, I just I was making Sunday dinner.
Yes.
And I thought, I'm going to be stood at this cooker for over an hour anyway. Let's just knock her up something. We've got all these lovely veg. We have a weekly veg box, odd box, and I love it. And we never know what we're getting, and everything is so varied, different colors, plenty of it.
Yeah.
And then, because of how we eat, I went to my store cupboard. I'd already got some pearl barley. I'd already got, I'd got all sorts of stuff. I'd already got lentils. I'd already got seeds, flax, and all of those, because I use flax if I'm baking. I'd already got those things. And then we had a rainbow of vegetables.
Yeah.
And honestly, and I have tried it way back when she was still having kibble, some kibble and some beetroot, and my girl will go for the beetroot. And I'm very, very interested in what you say, because it occurs to me that if they were opportunistic and they were getting the scraps, ancient man would not have considered meat, which was hard fought for.
Oh, absolutely.
So valuable. They may have got a bone, but I'm not sure that they would have got much meat on that bone, because that was a valuable, rarely eaten food. But they may have got scrapped the ends of gnarled bits of vegetables and things, which often have, I really enjoy chopping up like the rooty bit of cauliflower and broccoli, because I would eat that.
Yeah, that's right.
And all the leaves and things, beet leaves and things,
Absolutely. Those are things that they would have thrived on and lived on. And actually, that's what the majority of the street dogs in India, the millions of street dogs in India, will actually, because obviously meat there is the cows are not slaughtered at all. No, quite sacred, aren't they? So actually, most dogs in India, for example, are vegetarian.
They would be. But also, something that occurs to me is people always talk about them as being a companion, and I get that now. I didn't used to get it, but I do now understand why there is a different relationship, why there's that sort of intense companionship relationship that I love my cats. I've had cats all my life, ever since I was a baby, and my first own pet was a cat. But I'm also aware now of the slight difference in relationship. And what I've noticed with my husband, since we put Hunny onto a vegan or a plant-based diet is how, I mean, my husband is potty about this puppy anyway, as you can imagine, but there's another element that ties them together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, she's eating what we eat. He says she feels like part of our family because our family don't eat meat.
Yeah, and you said it at the beginning, she now sleeps on your bed, she sleeps in, she's got your routine, so why not have your routine of everything that you're eating?
She doesn't smell anymore because we had a lot of problem with terrible smelly wind. I mean, unbelievable. Not surprisingly, because obviously her digestion was in a mess, and we don't have that now at all. But just having her eating what we would consider to be normal food, not feeling, it's just that sort of dissonance you get when you're eating vegetarian and then you're buying your dog meat.
I know.
The real cognitive dissonance there, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Because and it's something that even as vets, you just don't even make that association, that you're learning about all the farm animals when you become a vet. And you don't even put 2 and 2 together, that actually one animal you're pouring your emotions into and giving such help to, and then another animal you're feeding to that animal, which just doesn't. But as soon as you turn vegan, it just everything makes perfect sense.
Yes,
is that
it really
actually
does.
This is where our nutrition comes from. It changes your entire perspective. Because,
and you know what, I don't think that dogs, if we cast our dogs out now, or even if we had cast out dogs to fend for themselves historically in the ancient world with hunter-gatherer communities or whatever, I just don't think, particularly with like a Jack Russell, it would be going hunting a cow.
No, absolutely. Well, that's why beef is the top allergen in dogs, because actually it's not a natural food for a dog at all, and neither is fish, for example, in cats. I mean, fish is a cat would, and for dogs, a cat and a dog would never jump into the ocean, swim out and go and catch a tuna, and so cats are actually highly allergic to fish protein, which interestingly falls into that category. So it just does not make sense that all the top foods are but the wonderful thing for you, Rachel, and you are just so fortunate, is that your vet right from the start said to feed vegetables and rice.
Yes.
So many vets will turn to the prescription hydrolyzed protein diets.
Really?
And you were so lucky that right from the word go, Hunny was actually put straight onto the right combination of, I mean, obviously vegetables and rice, it's not balanced. You need extra supplementing. But the fact that that you were straight in there with the right, you are so fortunate.
Yes, and actually I took her back for a checkup last week. She gets hay fever. She's a sensitive sort. She's just like us, we all get hay fever.
Yes.
But took her in for a checkup, and also because I wanted her weighed again, because she was the biggest in her litter by a long way. You know, sort of breed standard, I'd expect her to get to sort of between 20 and 24 kilograms tops for a female of that breed. And we took her along and she's already busted through 29 kilograms. She's beautifully fit. She's very tall. She's still got growth to do. Yeah. And I did speak to the vet then, and she said, you know, how's she doing? And I was honest, why wouldn't I be? And I said, look, we think she's doing so well now. All her diarrhea has cleared up. This is really the only problem that we've got now, is this residual hay fever. And we've put her on a plant-based diet. I said, you know, and I'm cooking some, we're supplementing. She's got some vegan kibble as well. And the vet just said, good for you. And she's very well on it too.
Oh, Rachel, you make me cry, because that's just wonderful. That's exactly what you want to hear. It's just that support.
Yes, because it's nerve-wracking. It's like, you know, when I was having my children, I was the only mum with vegetarian children. It makes you very, very anxious when all the healthcare professionals keep talking about they won't get enough protein, and your head is saying you're talking rubbish, but your mum alarm is going bonkers. And it's the same now, you know, our hearts were saying, we think she's going to be okay. We're not stupid. we're so on it, we're so careful, my husband, is very much, he's very project orientated, he did project engineering, and so he like me was looking at everything and all the macronutrients and the micronutrients, he's reading all the different kibbles as well, he was looking at them all to see how they compared. So our hearts were telling us this is absolutely the way that we need to go with our pup.
Well done.
But of course, your new owner's head, the alarms are just going off saying, how do we know we're not being culpable, really, that we're not doing something awful, that we're being safe? And so to have a vet validate
absolutely
our lived experience that she is okay was it was just wonderful, really.
Oh, so lucky. Oh, and I think it will happen more and more, because finally we've got vets actually listening and embracing, because of the research that came out in April that proves that vegan dog food is actually healthier. There's just one supplement that is so important, and I'm not sure if you're giving it to Hunny, particularly as she is a year old, is the omega-3 algae oil. Are you giving her any algae oil?
I haven't. I've looked at it, and at the moment, I've said to my husband, at the moment, she must have her kibble as well to make sure she's getting everything. And also we use the Just Be Kind supplement.
Perfect.
So that goes on. So when I'm giving her home cooked, I put some of the supplement powder on.
Wonderful.
I'm grinding down a variety of seeds, so pumpkins, sunflower, linseed, some chia, grinding that down as well to sort of sprinkle on. And I'm also mixing a little extra virgin olive oil in when it's cold, just stirring that in, just a little of that. But that's one of the things. I've got a shopping list, so seaweed is on there.
Seaweed, that's right.
And then to get her omega oils in is the other one.
That's right. It's just especially for puppies, it's the one. And I'm just, when you mentioned hay fever that you have and that she has, is omega-3 algae oil is the one product that has DHA and EPA. So these would be the long chain fatty acids, the essential fatty acids that they need for brain development, for heart function, but certainly in puppies. I know she's a fully grown puppy now, but there's something called arachidonic acid that you will find in these algae oil capsules.
And where can I get the algae oils? Where can I get the algae oil?
So the company is called Vegetology, and actually I will be stocking them on my Just Be Kind site, which and I'm going to be selling it along with the supplement. I take them myself, and so I contacted the company and said, I'm sending owners to you, and they said, no, actually you can just buy from us and to sell, which is fantastic.
It's nice.
But yes, so these are oils that we all take as a family. Sorted my son's eczema out,